We're swapping our screen time for reading time.
I've basically hit my goal for the day. I spent a long time committing to the cause this week.
In my defence, I have not been on my phone. Everything's going well, it's fine. This is a success.
Hello! Hey! My name is Hannah and welcome to my channel. You've made it to a bookish space and I hope you stay. As seen in the title, we are going to be swapping our screen time for reading time, and by we, I mean me! This just seems like a fun challenge and I've seen so many booktubers do it and I thought, it's my time, let's hold myself accountable, get off my phone and see how much I can read. The goal is truly to just hit the daily mark. So for today, Monday, I'm going to be looking at last Monday's hours that I spent on my phone. No judgment, please. I'm going to be trying to read for that many hours. And it's as simple as that. Maybe we should just jump straight in. Let's just go. Let's do this! I'm scared, but also excited. And thank you so much for just coming to watch me read. That's what I like to do. I love to watch people read. So, yeah. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go. Actress, wow! No things she does on the mattress. Alexa, pause.
Good morning. So we're swapping our screen time for reading time. That's what we're doing. Can't remember off the top of my head what today's goal is. I think it's around 4 hours and 50 minutes, but I'll put it here. You guys know more than me and I'll check later. It's currently about 10 to 8 in the morning and I'm going to work, but I get around an hour and a half audiobook time in, just driving to work and back, and then on my lunch break as well. So that's what I'm going to have to do because I'm not coming home at 5 p.m. and reading for 4 hours straight. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me the best of luck. I have actually started reading The Hike by Lucy Clarke. That's the audiobook that we're going in with, and I've started it fresh this morning. So we'll see how quickly that takes me to read, with me having to read for too many hours. I haven't even checked if it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to do that as well. And yeah, I have the physical book. I have the hardback that I got in a charity shop for like 50p. Go me. I know. So yeah, that's this morning. I obviously have to work an 8.5 hour shift today. So we'll catch up with you guys this evening when I'm not working and we can dedicate some time to reading. See you then.
Her cheek. Through the open door to the bedroom.
Hey, good evening. How are we all? It is now, I think it's around 9:15, and I have outdone myself. I don't want to brag, but I've done extremely well. I have managed to read for almost 5 hours today. Now, I will admit, most of that was on audio. Smashed it. Go me. And then I did read a little bit on my Kindle whilst I was cooking tea and then eating my tea and waiting for my tea. That was a little bit of an immersive read and I had a really great time. I am still reading The Hike by Miss Lucy Clarke, and it's interesting actually. It's giving more than I thought it was going to, in the sense that there is 4 women in this story and I'm 50% in and I'm still not quite sure if one of them is going to go missing or what's going to happen. But the character development that we're getting, I feel like I really understand these women and I understand their really different personalities and backgrounds, and yeah, it's been nice actually to read, and it has been really interesting and super easy, so that's a really fun time. I think based on what I've read so far, I could probably do with reading for like another half an hour at the very least, which I will absolutely do because some nights I just fall asleep to my audiobook because it just helps me relax. That is probably what I'll do a little bit later on. Now that I know I've basically hit my goal for the day, I think I'm just going to watch some BookTube. I'm literally about to get ready for bed, take my makeup off, get cozy, and just relax. It truly feels like my body is just ready for bed. So it might be an early night tonight, but that's okay. And of course, we'll start fresh tomorrow. Not 100% sure what my goal is for tomorrow, but we'll get there. There's no point worrying about it tonight. We'll get there. Let me be so real with you right now. We have a dog with us, and she loves to look out the window and bark. So excuse that, please, if you will. It is. What time is it, honey baby? Alexa, what time is it?
9:01 p.m.
It's 9 p.m. Okay, and this is my first check-in of the day, as you know. And I have read today. What have I read? I finished reading, if you wouldn't mind, honey babe. I finished reading The Hike by Lucy Clarke, and I ended on a 3-star. Not a bad book by any means, really easy, and I did have a good time, but just nothing to sort of like scream about, you know? I do need to just have a little look at how much I read. Just give me 1 second. So I started today on page 259, and there are 375 pages in this book. So I did listen to probably like all of that actually on audio, and that most likely took me about an hour and a half. So that's how much time I've spent reading today, because that's the only reading that I've done. Should we just catch up on what the goal was for today? Am I going to reach that at 9 p.m. right now? No. Not when I've just spent the last 45 minutes watching BookTube and cuddling my dog. Yeah, no. Probably not gonna finish that amount of time today, but I will try. I reckon I could probably do at least 2 hours of reading before I go to sleep tonight. So I'll try my best. We will carry over into tomorrow's hours. Maybe I'll catch up with you tonight and let you know how much I've actually managed to read. But I will say I know that tomorrow's hours are absolutely ridiculous, because last Wednesday was my day off, which meant I spent at least 7 hours listening to an audiobook last Wednesday. So I'm actually considering removing the Audible hours from tomorrow's hours, because I don't think that's fair to say I have to read as much as I read last week. That's not the goal. The goal is screen time, and Audible is not screen time. Anyway, I'll see you later. Hey, I think it's time we did a little bit of a review of the last few days. It is currently Wednesday, and what time is it? It is just about to be 2 p.m. I don't think I did very well at summarising my goals for the day and then how much I actually read. So let's just rewind back to Monday. My goal on Monday was to hit 5 hours and 11 minutes reading time, and I bloody smashed it, I have to say. I listened to The Hike on audio for 4 hours and 57 minutes, so that was pretty much all of my goal. But I then read for a further hour in bed that night, and that got me up to 5 hours and 57 minutes. I am reading this because I had to write it down and work it out, which hasn't been easy. I'm committed to the cause. Big moves made on Monday, did great. And then yesterday, I actually, around 7 p.m, remembered that we were doing this together, and I was like, oh, I forgot. So yeah, last night was a little bit of a struggle, but I did manage to read 3 hours and 13 minutes on audio, and that was finishing The Hike, which was a good time. I think I've already said, but I ended up rating that 3 stars. It was fine. And I then started reading For Whom the Bell Tolls on my Kindle, and I read for just under an hour, I believe it was, which led my total to 4 hours and 7 minutes of reading, and my goal was 4 hours and 45 minutes. So I didn't achieve. However, I overachieved on Monday by 45 minutes, and I underachieved on Tuesday by around 45 minutes. So we're even. It's all good. So far, everything's going well. It's fine. This is a success, and I can feel that I'm reading a lot, which I have no issue with. It's good. It's fine. I'm gonna hopefully fly through some books this week. That leads us to today, and my reading goal for Wednesday, because of last week's reading hours, if you look at it, surface level,
It's 10 hours and 19 minutes, which is just ridiculous. All I had to do was just sort of scroll a little bit and I could see that I actually spent something ridiculous like just under 5 hours listening to Audible. So I'm obviously removing that because that's not screen time, that's just me listening to an audiobook. And I don't want to hear it. This is my video, I make the rules. So we've removed those hours, and that leaves us with 5 hours and 24 minutes as today's goal. Doable based on the last couple of days, and also the fact that today's my day off, so I actually have a lot more time to be physically reading rather than just listening to the audiobook. Like I said, it's now 2 p.m. and I have already been reading / listening to For Whom the Bell Tolls for 2 hours and 42 minutes. So we're kind of halfway there already. I do have a few things I need to do tonight, as in I've got some driving to do. I need to take my dog home, I need to go to dance, and I'll kind of just get ready for tomorrow. But there's still a lot of time for me to be listening to the audio and then reading as well when I get back into bed. And I think, you know, just over 2.5 hours, 3 hours reading, I've got that in me. I'm not going to be going to bed until like, I don't know, 11 p.m. tonight, so we've got time. And yeah, that's sort of where we're at. So now that I've made that as long-winded as possible, shall we talk about For Whom the Bell Tolls? Me and my sister are currently reading it at the same time, and I'm 180 pages in, which is about 25% of the way through. And if I'm being honest, just a bit like, what's the point in this? It's a bit of a weird one. In this book, our main character has just died, and she goes to the afterlife, and there is this whole sort of like afterlife universe, and she's just sort of exploring that and meeting people. That's essentially all that's happening. There is some sort of like budding relationship forming, which is kind of interesting, but also kind of not that interesting as romance goes. And obviously with it being like an afterlife sort of book, and we also have some magical beings and stuff, it is fantasy, but it's also just like, just don't get the point. I'm bored. Just to put it bluntly, I'm a little bit bored. And I think to be 180 pages in and not have met a proper villain, or even like fakely introduced a villain, yeah, it's just a bit weird. But the reason why I decided to pick this up was because A, I saw it in a supermarket and the cover was beautiful, but also when I'd seen it, I went onto Goodreads and had a look at the ratings, and I think it had something like 4.77, which is crazy. And I know we can't always trust that, and it didn't have like thousands and thousands of reviews at the time when I looked at it, but it had enough for that to be a just sort of reason for me to decide to pick it up. Bit annoying because I really want to like this, and I've also been not recommending it, but like suggesting it to people at work based on what I've seen. But when I see them all tomorrow, I'll be like, by the way, nothing's happening. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at. Honey, would you like to say hi? She's so asleep, like she's been literal chaos all morning, and now I've just started talking to myself. She's decided that she wants to have a little nap. Fine, whatever. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I am already considering what I'm going to read next, and I think I have Our Infinite Fates high on the agenda. That's what I feel like right now, but depending on how this goes, I might end up picking another thriller, you know, because I've been watching Beth Morvan, and she was doing, I don't know if you've seen, but she's just done like an over 2-hour episode of her Read It or Unhaul It, and I loved it. It was fabulous. It was like watching a movie. It was so long. And she spoke about some John Marrs books in this episode, in this video, and it's definitely intrigued me, especially because it had kind of like an eerie dystopian vibe to it, and I like that. So definitely considering picking up something by John Marrs after this, but obviously I do have a whole June TBR to consider as well. We'll see. I'll speak to you guys soon anyway.
so pretty.
Hey, I picked up Ward Dean, as you will have seen, and I did this because I was feeling kind of slumpish. I DNF'd From Whom the Bell Tolls. Is that what it's called? I've already forgotten.
Goodbye!
I DNF'd that, and that was my second DNF in like 3 days, so I just kind of needed something quick and something to keep the pages turning, and I find that Freida McFadden and her thrillers are just so easy, so this is where we're at. And today I have read 216 pages. I'm on chapter 44 and I have this much left. Yeah, I'm not hitting that goal for today. I'm just not. I think I've probably read now at about, I see it like 7:30, 7:45. I've read like 2 hours and 2.5 hours. I think that's it. So yeah, probably not going to hit that goal, but it's fine. I will try again tomorrow, you know? We can't always win. In terms of the book itself, I am questioning everything. Every character, every reasoning, every question, every storyline, every thought. We have flashbacks in this book, so you're trying to sort of picture together what happened way back when and what's happening now and how they're linked, and definitely got all the questions going, and it is so easy. I'm definitely going to finish this probably in the next like 45 minutes, and then I'm going to pick up something on my Kindle, and I think I'm going to read Promise Me Sunshine, but we'll get there. Let's not move on too quickly. I'll come back and review this with you guys probably tomorrow after work at about 4:30, and then we will set up for the evening and see if tomorrow's a better day. Do you want to be in the YouTube vid? No. 5-star service. What is this, bread? Good morning. I'm at my sister's house and I've taken over her spare bedroom, and she'll want me to tell you that this mess is all me, which it is. So Rachel's not a tramp. So it's Saturday morning and I didn't vlog at all yesterday. I read for about 45 minutes. So I think it's fair to say that Friday was a fail. On one hand, I was just living my life. You know, I was just having sisterly time. I worked an 8-hour shift. You know, it is what it is. I spent a long time committing to the cause this week and I did really great. But, you know, it's kind of going downhill. Friday, big fail. This morning I haven't read anything yet and it's about 10:30 and I have a late shift. I'm working from 1 till 9. So am I going to read as much as I need to do today? I think what I'll do is on my way to work, which is like about an hour and 10-minute drive from here, I will put the audio on and get as much time in as I possibly can. I don't even think you guys know what I'm reading, and I will tell you. I'm reading Fairydale, and I don't know who's written it, but it is Emmy's book club book of the month, and I didn't think I wanted to read it, but then I sort of like went on TikTok and had a look at some of the reviews, and it looks like a little bit of a crazy time, and it was on my Kindle, and all I had with me was my Kindle, so I thought, do you know what, fine, I'll do that. I'm only about 100 pages in, but when I tell you that the plot is plotting in this book, it is crazy. Anyone that's read it, or if you're part of Emmy's book club and you're reading it, you'll know exactly what I mean. You get like pure, full content from like page 1. I will need to have a look up on today's goal for reading, but the truth is I'm not going to have much screen time, and I didn't have much screen time yesterday. Please don't think that I did. I tried to read, but me and my sister ended up watching Pitch Perfect, and I just couldn't tear my eyes away because it's hilarious. That's my update. Maybe I'll speak to you guys either before I go to work or tonight when I get in, but it's going to be a quick turnaround. I'm back in work at 8 tomorrow, so it's just going to be a chill one, and yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And if you have family, go see them. I love to, and for everyone that's got sisters out there, I love my sisters. No, that's it from me.
Well, hello! It's Sunday. You and I, we've done the bare minimum when it comes to reading over the past few days. And in my defense, I have not been on my phone. So it's not like I've just not picked up the books. I've just been too busy to be reading. Some of this vlog, we'll get more into it tomorrow when I do a proper wrap up, but
Some of this vlog was definitely a success and some of it was a little bit of a fail. And yeah, I don't want to review right now, but let's just talk about today, shall we? So it's Sunday. I worked from 8 till 4 today, so I didn't read before work, during work, but I did start reading after work, and I don't even know if you know what I'm reading. I'm reading Fairydale. Is it Veronica Lancet? Is that the author? It's just crazy. It's like Whiplash. And it's just, I don't think I've ever read anything like it. That's what's currently going on. And today, so far, I've read an hour and 8 minutes, something like that. I'm going to try my best, like now, to read for like 2 hours, because not only am I really enjoying the book that I'm reading and I just want to sort of like immerse myself into it, but I haven't had like a good solid chunk of time where I have been by myself, uninterrupted, and I can just read. Like, I'm craving it, and I'm day off tomorrow, so no work and more time to read. I'm gonna knuckle down tonight and try end the challenge on a little bit of a high, but I'm not really sure how that will go. You'll find out tomorrow. You'll find out in probably about 30 seconds, to be honest. Let's outro this, shall we? What a week. Started off brilliantly. Didn't end so brilliantly. I think my only successful days were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Big fat fail. But in my defence, I wasn't on my phone. I also wasn't reading. And I was working all of those days. So I think I did okay. It was a very busy week. I read lots. I can't remember off the top of my head right now what I read. Someone tell me, what did I read? I had a wonderful time, and I say I had a wonderful time. I discovered, really, that the goal of like having to read that much, you know, fun idea, it's a little bit stressful, because not only was I using audiobook hours left, right, and centre, but also like it stopped me from doing other things that I would have done, but that time was replaced sometimes with less doom scrolling and more reading, which is obviously the goal. I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this vlog, please let me know. I absolutely love vlogging for you guys. I love chatting to you about books, and I want to talk to you in the comments. Tell me what you've been reading recently, what's on your June TBR, what haven't you got round to yet, and if I've read it, I'll let you know. Please just let's have a chat. Let's talk about it in the comments. I had a good reading week, I would say. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.